resurrected the innings and set the platform for Maroof to come and play some big shots. So Upul Chandana on the field straight away. He's the super sub.
Yes, and from India's point of view, I'm sure they'll use their super sub as well. Suresh Raina, left-hand batsman. He came on for Murli Karthik. And from Sri Lanka's point of view, they'll be hoping that the law of averages catch up with Tendulkar and Sehwag. They've got India off to good starts in the two games. Then the Sehwag strike rate 96.7. He needs a big score. He's got into his stride in his last few innings, getting the 20s and 13, but not kicking on to make the big score. But still a very, very dangerous player. And with him, Tendulkar, he's in magnificent form at the moment. So the game plan for Sri Lanka will be clear-cut. They'll want some early wickets to put pressure on the Indian middle order. So all the makings of a cracking contest in good conditions. Sachin Tendulkar, he won't be on strike. As many as 3,800s, over 13,000 runs at a very, very good strike rate, 86.3. Chaminda Vaas will start the proceedings for Sri Lanka. And one thing you can be rest assured, these first 15 overs crucial. India knows this pitch will slow up later on, so we could see some shots here. Vaas on the way. Shots for sure. Starts off in blazing style, Sehwag. That wasn't all that bad a delivery, but struck well on the up.
Struck well and struck into the gap. What a start for India. Just minimal footwork, but then the bat coming down to meet the ball at the correct point and time to perfection.
So India on their way. Anyone having lunch around the ground would have got back into the seat very quickly. That's a single on that occasion. The reason I say it is the way the way Tendulkar in particular is batting. We know how Sehwag plays. It's guaranteed entertainment. Billy Bowden just walking down the track there, taking a look, walking up to Mavanata Padu. So Tendulkar now on strike.
This will be the third highest total that India would be chasing if they get there. The highest being 324. They got 325 against the West Indies in Ahmedabad in 2002. And in 2000 they chased 301. They got up to 302 against South Africa in Cochin. So it's a big target. It needs runs and runs to be scored consistently.
Good delivery, bang on target. We didn't see much swing for Irfan Pathan today. He's got 11,000 runs, almost, just one run required at the top of the order as an opening batsman. It'll be interesting to see India's batting order today as well. They've experimented with the number 3 position. Tendulkar off the mark with a couple. Goes past 11,000 runs as an opening batsman in one-day internationals. Don't forget, he has a decent test record as well.
The crowd absolutely roared when Tendulkar got his first run. They expect big things from him. Right now, Billy Bowden has given Chaminda Vaas a warning for running on the pitch. And his follow-through step getting into that danger area, and umpire Billy Bowden says that's the first warning. Informs all those who need to know. You get one more, that's the most.
Edge and taken! Outside edge, Tendulkar went after it. Vast strikes in the first over. And a magnificent catch by Kumar Sangakkara. Don't forget, he batted right through the innings. This is a magnificent diving effort and a big blow for India.
Deafening silence as the master goes. Chased that one outside the off stump, and that was going in the gap between Slip and Sangakkara, and you couldn't keep him out of the action. A brilliant catch. So Tendulkar goes for 2, and the score 7 for 1 wicket.
Seven for 1, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni comes out to the middle. Career best of 148 against Pakistan. And a good over from Vas, striking early, getting the wicket of Tendulkar. India 7 for 1. So Sri Lanka striking early. Tendulkar dismissed. A superb catch by Kumar Sangakkara. Flying across to his right and taking it with 2 hands. Chaminda Vas once again striking early for Sri Lanka. He's got 61 wickets against the Indians. That's more than any other player against India in one-day internationals. And he's dismissed Sachin Tendulkar more than any other bowler in one-day internationals as well. 8 times. That was number 8. Very clever bowler. Subtle variations in pace. A tried and tested performer for Sri Lanka over the years. 292 to win from 49. Dilara Fernando will share the new ball with Chaminda Vas.
His 72nd one-day international today. He's taken 89 wickets. Economy rate 5.11.
We've seen India experiment with the number 3 position on quite a few occasions in the last couple of months. So Irfan Pathan batting at number 3 in the first game in Nagpur. Got Dhoni out here today. Don't forget, he made 148 against Pakistan, batting at number 3.
Be a big test for the Indian top order batsmen. Today they have a real challenge.
I think what you need really, as the Sri Lankan showed, Ranil, is to get a platform. You've got to get into a position where you're 150 for 2 or something of that sort with wickets in hand. Then you can chase a big score. And full marks to Sangakkara for the way he paced his innings. Sehwag, on the other hand, you can see he's got off to starts 20-38, but not kicking on to make the big score. Here's the chance today.
Yes, the Sri Lankans scored 104 runs in the last 10 overs. 61 in the last 5. So that's an indication how they accelerated when it was required. Good opportunity for Dilara Fernando too to get a good spell in. He's not really been on the spot in the first 2 games. Today he has the freedom. He knows his batsmen have got the runs on the board.
The sun beating down here in Jaipur, and I won't be surprised if this pitch doesn't dry up. Got a warning for Fernando as well. So both the umpires in business. Saw Billy Bowden warning Vas, and now Fernando being warned.
Yes, it's not often that they have got warned, but that delivery which Fernando bowled, short, pushing the batsman onto the back foot, that's the length he likes to bowl.
And that just could be the right length on the surface. We've seen the odd ball just keeping low and stopping on the batsman. Important thing is not to give room to either of these players.
Dhoni had a good knock in the first ODI, but it's a different role that he's got to play today.
Tidy over. 2 overs bowled. It's 9 for 1. Nine for 1.
Packed offside field set by Mavanatapattu. It was most of the time trying to angle the ball away from the right-hand batsman. So he's got a second slip. Deep third man cover. Backward point, short extra cover mid-off.
It's a kind of track, I believe, that will suit the Sri Lankan bowlers as well. Slow, lowish kind of track. Plenty of options now for Atapattu as far as bowling is concerned.
Yes, Sri Lanka coming straight into the game with Upul Chandana, super sub. He's taken the place of Samaravira.
He goes for the big one. He's a powerful striker of the ball. That's 6 for Dhoni. got the opportunity to free his arms, and boy, have a look at this. That white ball is flying. Well, this is a fairly big ground, but when you have strikers of the ball like this, the ground does look small. Just a single.
Sami Nawaz didn't...
It's from the Saurashtra Cricket Association. Former president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India. He can relax now. This match is not in Mohali. He can sit back on that armchair, take it easy, feet up, enjoy the entertainment. As far as Niranjan goes, he's got a game coming up, so he'll be busy with that. He has to hurry. Slight misfield allows Dhoni to get, in fact, Sehwag to get the single. Muralidharan was the man closing in. 3 gone, 17 for 1. So the leading scorers for India in one-day cricket. Sachin Tendulkar dismissed today cheaply. Vas's first over. Fernando now will continue. Virendra Sehwag climbing up the ladder there quickly. 3,857 runs. That's good line to Sehwag. Tucking him up. Not allowing him to free his arms.
He didn't pick it up early. He would have liked to play that hook shot, or he would have liked to hit it with the pace, but couldn't really judge the bounce up on his feet. And Fernando again bowling that good length. Bowl that one slightly slower, 125.2 Ks. But he's generally around 135. So he's mixing it up nicely. Good start for Dilara Fernando.
That single will bring Dhoni on strike. Sri Lanka earlier today batted quite superbly. Indian bowling getting a real hammering in the last 10 overs, where over 100 runs were scored.
Captain Athapaththu must be pleased with the way his middle order batted. He himself wasn't able to get too many, 17 of 49 deliveries. Still struggling with the bat.
That was onto him quickly. Looking for the pull.
quick is what the Sri Lankan fieldsmen are saying, and certainly did get to him pretty quickly. Got big on him as he went for that pull shot. Didn't know where the ball went in the end. Good bowling from Fernando. He's hurt a bit. He's got it on his fingers.
I think it's a thumb. It's gone numb. Just getting it out of the glove and flexing it a bit. Interesting to see how Dhoni reacts.
Interesting to see what the next ball will be. Where will he pitch it? Will he give him that Yorker, or will he keep it short again?
Gets the single. Keep the strike, Dhoni. 4 overs have been bowled. 19 for 1. .280 to win from 46 overs. Chavandavas will continue to win in catching position. There's a short extra cover as well. Down the track. I think that's the reason why it's not easy to get a leg before wicket. He was chipping down the track, Dhoni. It'll be interesting to see where the ball pitches.
Going down the leg side. But Chamindavas thought there may be a chance for him to get Billy Bowden interested, but Billy Bowden not interested. Good delivery though. Pitch right up on his feet.
There's absolutely no doubt that Vas will use the slower ball shrewdly with Dhoni. Dhoni is someone who comes hard at you. Again, Billy Bowden goes down the track. I think this is the second warning for Chaminda Vas. He was warned in the very first over. He's gone to him again and said, be careful. And that's the last one. Skipper steps in.
This is strange because Chamindavas never does get onto the pitch. He always stays clear. Maybe he's just getting in to that danger area on the follow through. That step after the delivery is just into that danger area. Three good deliveries from Vas. All three of them coming back to the right-hander. Dhoni obviously not very comfortable with that. He's a player who likes to free his arms, swing the bat through the line. Good clever bowling in this over so far from Chaminda Vas.
He goes for it again. The result the same, second six for Dhoni.
He was waiting for that. That's where he likes it. Didn't really get all of it as much as the earlier one, but still hit with tremendous power. Kumar Sangakkara straight away going down and having a word with Vas. Was perhaps a little bit disturbed by the fact that he's been warned for running on the pitch. Always is in the back of the mind of the bowler when that happens. concentrates or thinks more about that sometimes than really what he should be doing with the ball. So both Was, both Atapattu and Sangakkara having a word with Was. He's an experienced campaigner. He'll get his mind back onto it.
Now some thought put into the field placing. Man's drop back on the offside. There is a slip, there is a gully, there's a short extra cover. But what's happened is the field has come up on the offside. What Dhoni's done is made Atapattu get rid of the third man fielder, which is always dicey. He's up in the ring because he wants a man in that position. Deep extra cover. Five overs gone, 25 for 1. $25 for 1. Sri Lanka were 27 after 5. And that's nicely played. Just opening the face of the blade. And good work in the deep. Russell Arnold had to cover ground quickly.
Did play it intentionally. Good piece of fielding by Russell Arnold. Good commitment there, throwing himself to his left.
Should be cut off just inside the boundary. 3 runs comfortably taken. Nice wristy stroke from Sehwag.
Sehwag 13 of 11 deliveries. That's the first one that Fernando has straight down the leg side. Well put away. Nice high back lift. Had control as he rolled his wrists over.
That brings Dhoni back on strike. Yes, he'll be wanting to push Dhoni back because the 2 times Vas pitched the ball up to Dhoni, he was hammered. This is the first one, over extra cover. Went a long way for 6, and then again, very similar shot. There's no half measures with this man when he looks to play a positive stroke. Good bowling.
The Indians going along nicely. They lost Tendulkar. It's a harder day for the Indians. Coach Greg Chappell looking concerned. 2 up in the series. And Sri Lanka came up with a good batting performance. Have they turned the corner?
Lucky just getting the bat down at the right time. That ball was slanting in towards the pads.
Not where he intended it to go. In fact, he had a quick glance round no sooner he made contact. just getting the inside of his bat. Dhoni 16 of 21 deliveries.
Chipped in the air, just clears mid on.
Three runs taken, but just for a moment, Sehwag would have had his heart in his mouth. 6 overs gone, 34 for 1. .34 for 1. 6 overs have been bowled. Chaminda Vas has been taken off the attack because he was won twice in 2 overs by Billy Bowden. So you might just see a change of ends for Vas. Maroof replacing him. And a replacement in the commentary box as well. Shivarama Krishnan is with Ranjit Fernando.
Thank you, Ravi. The last ball of the previous over. I think Virendra Sehwag was lucky. He was deceived by the slower delivery, closing the face of the bat a little too early. Man at mid-on, judge did not judge it to perfection.
He has got himself caught up in a tangle there, and the ball's just going over his head. Muralidharan standing at the top of the 30-yard mark. The ball just chipped over his head. So Parvez Maroof need to try and keep this quiet, as the Indians are making some headway. Sri Lankans have runs on the board, but they can't be complacent. This pitch is playing well.
Yes is the call, and there's a misfield. He's putting pressure on the fielder. Virendra Sehwag struck it firmly and called immediately. Could have been a tight single, but it's 4.
Yes, they took off for the single. Vas sensed that and it just took his eyes off the ball. Just keeping the eyes on the batsman. As a result of it, lost contact and the ball went right through him.
He's catching up, getting a little bit of strike for the moment. Virendra Sehwag. Again, the slower delivery. Needs to hit a lot of boundaries. I wonder why they're risking their wickets for a single. Chandana, the fielder.
Yes, I think the non-striker was well aware that it was Chandan who was coming rushing in, and very wisely sent Sehwag back. Of course, again, Chandana himself fumbled, taking his eyes off.
Again, straighter this time. Be just a single. But these two with the high backlift seem to be going for everything. Dhoni and Sehwag.
There's no question the intentions of the Indians is to cover as much ground as possible in the early 20 overs. But very likely the Sri Lankans would take the power play.
India's point of view, they'd like both of them to get going. He struck it cleanly again. He's just an amazing striker of the cricket ball. Didn't bother running, and Billy's having fun, and so is Dhoni.
What a shot. Absolute power, and again, coupled with timing. These two combined can be absolutely sensational. Just look at this shot. Right in the center of the bat. There was no doubt as to where that would end up. Went up like a scud.
But we stand and admire. He loved it, Dhoni. The crowd's loving it too. Strike rate of 100 for Dhoni.
Yes, if they were disappointed with Tendulkar's dismissal, the coming in or entry of Dhoni to the crease must have lit them up.
Quite interesting from Dhoni. Just the 4 singles. No 2s, no 3s. The rest have been in boundaries. And all 3 6s. Doesn't believe in running too much.
Is why run when you've been hitting it so cleanly, both players. Dhoni 3 6s in the process.
Giving the charge. This is the fast outfield. Dhoni taking the Sri Lankans on. Boundary to end the over. 7 overs gone. It's 49 for 1. So very good last over. 15 runs coming from it. Dhoni and Sehwag doing the damage. 42 the partnership in 37 balls. Still quite a bit of batting left.
This game is on, and the Indians know it. The crowd too.
Good delivery. You've got to do this consistently. The Yorkers, the slower deliveries are the way to go.
Yes, I think in the earlier games, the Sri Lankans overdid the slow deliveries, and as a result of it, they were predictable. So it's important that Dilara Fernando gets it in as a surprise, and that's just what he's been doing. They need to try and mix things up to try and confuse these batsmen.
Another good delivery. Every dot ball will add pressure. He bowls the slower delivery extremely well, Ranjit, and he's got that split finger gripping there. He splits it at the last moment. And the release is so very good. Very deceptive indeed.
It's the very fact that he's just split it at the last minute makes it so difficult for the batsman to recognize the slower one. So that makes it all that more difficult to play him.
Just be the single. That brings up the 50 for India.
So made in very good time, keeping up with the run rate. So you could see it pleases the captain as well. The Sri Lankans have runs on the board, but they certainly cannot be complacent. One must realize that in the current day with the power plays being now running for 20 overs, so one really can't be even complacent with 300s.
He does hit the cricket ball really hard, Dhoni.
So the Sri Lankans, what they need to do is to strive to pick up wickets. It's so important that they keep on doing it. Just saving runs is not in order. As if they do that and in fact dispose of either one of them or both these batsmen, they certainly could be in some sort of strong situation.
Shot asking for trouble. Dhoni not the one to miss out.
This pitch is so unforgiving when it's short. There's not much life in it, not much bounce. It gives the batsman ample time to get back and pull it away. And Dhoni is in no mood to defend any of that. Certainly going after the Sri Lankans. And that's pulled away for 4. Wide off the man at deep fine leg.
Good adjustment. Initially onto the front foot. Then realizing it was short, made the adjustment so quickly, Dhoni. He's on a roll at the moment. The Indians would like him to carry on, so would the crowd. This time, shot of the man at third man. Will just pick up the single. 8 overs gone, 55 for 1. So Sri Lankan chart going the old-fashioned way. So small overs to start with, couple of wickets lost, Jayasuriya and Atapattu, and then a good partnership. And towards the end, the last 10 overs, 104 runs were scored in the last 10. And in the last 5, 61. India, single dot, big setback, wicket of Tendulkar. Building up nicely. 15 runs, India ahead at this stage. Maruf will continue. Oh, dangerous. Very dangerous, but he's that kind of player. Mahendra Singh Dhoni picks up a boundary again.
Yes, it was in the air for a moment. There was a man placed at short extra. In fact, for the drive, Watership moving on to 50, made in 44 balls. He took the ball on. It hit so powerful, and again the centre of the bat hit the meat. And there's not much chance picking them up unless they stick.
Goes at them very hard. Uses the bottom hand to good effect. So bowler feels that he just foxed him with the change of pace. Strike rate improving all the time with Dhoni. 3 4s and 3 6s. And just the 5 singles to go with it. Oh, good delivery. Can't do much about that as a batsman.
Yes, there was a big backlift there, but a long one, and Dhoni came down very quickly. Maruf sizing the situation right in the block hole, but he did well to dig it out.
I think surprising everybody, he got 4 runs on the first delivery. And charging the second. Thinking long and hard, Dhoni thought it was a wide. Good call from Billy Bowden.
So you could see that Maruf is looking to keep the ball up, pushing it far forward, encouraging Dhoni into the drive, but Dhoni leaving it alone, expecting the wide.
Change of pace, 112.8 Ks. That's working.
So better deliveries from Maruf, looking to pull this back after that first boundary.
It's hard work for everyone out in the middle, and conditions pretty warm at the moment. Maximum of 31 degrees today. Ho, ho, ho. Even the man outside the fence would have been in danger. Dhoni would love to spend another 45 minutes to an hour there.
I think the whole of India would expect or hope that he would be out there. You can't keep him quiet for just more than a few balls. That's hammered down the ground.
Very much a Caribbean style shot. Over-pitch delivery off the back foot.
The Sri Lankan bench starts getting together. They will have to come up with some options here. They're still restricted to just 2 men outside the ring. So the bowling will have to be precise on line.
Looks like it's certain they won't take power play number 2 straight away.
Yes, I think they'll have to look at some way of picking up a wicket, maybe a spin against Dhoni.
Slower delivery doesn't make a difference to Dhoni. He's having a ball. He's parting out in the middle. 9 overs gone. It's 67 for 1. So the Blue Worm ahead at the moment. The 10th over. And for a few moments, Sehwag is looking like a man who is subdued.
Yes, he is pedestrian in comparison to Dhoni. So you could see the pace at which Dhoni is going. But again, Sehwag also has picked up 22 runs in 19 balls. The last ball in the previous over, that was bludgeoned away. Raced to the boundary, there was no question of that.
While Dhoni has made 43 of just 33 balls, Sehwag's just managed 17. And his strike rate is 110, Virendra Sehwag.
The crowd's really on their feet here in entertained to a great exhibition of batsmanship here.
Should be more than a couple. In fact, it reaches the fence. Very good timing.
Oh, with his outfield dried up, there's plenty of value even for the softest of shots. That was nicely deflected past the man at short mid-wicket. Again, the timing, letting the ball go on its way, using its pace.
Nothing much wrong with the delivery. Largely back of a length. The line was not too bad either. At the moment, these two are just too good. Partnership 64 and 52 balls.
Yes, the Sri Lankan captain Mavan Athapattu certainly would be in a bit of a dilemma here. Is he going to take the next power play? That really would be the question. Or is he going to use Muralidharan and look to try and dismiss one of these?
Quite certain he will not take the second power play. Spread out the field, maybe use Murali, but I'd like to take a gamble. Use Chandana, the leg spinner. He's being super subbed against two right-handers. Just might pick up a wicket, might be expensive, but it's a wicket that they need. So no ball.
It's all going wrong for the Sri Lankans. Lara Fernando has managed to, in a way, minimize the no balls. But once again, on this occasion, overstepping.
Pretty disciplined this time around. Very good call again by Hari Haran. He's had a good match. Bit of an inside edge. Just get him the single.
So there's nothing called defense for Dhoni. Even if the ball is off good length, he just manages to push it, gets an inside edge. So they've covered a great deal of ground here. 225 to win now in 40.1.
Run rate required 5.6 at the moment, 9 wickets in hand. Things under control. They've got to bat with common sense. Single to Sehwag to keep strike. 10 overs gone. 75 for 1. A very good 10 overs for India. Sri Lanka at this stage, 51-1. India losing Tendulkar early. Tendulkar departed for two, reaching out to a wide delivery to be brilliantly caught by Sankara. Thereafter, it's been raining fours and sixes. Sehwag on 28, Dhoni on 44. So the second power play not taken. Atapattu will make a bowling change. Bring his premier spinner on, Muthaiya Muralitharan.
It's also a few desperate measures by the Sri Lankans. Apart from picking up runs quickly, I think they've also occupied the crease for some time. So had a good look at the seamers. So in order to try and take on Muralitharan, that would serve them good. Muralitharan just picked up a wicket in the last two games, so he would be also looking to try and get some success here, considering his record, 387 one-day wickets at an average of 22.38.
Best of 7 for 30. And that was against India at Sharjah. Silly point, one man catching there.
It'll be interesting to see India's approach to Muralitharan. Would they like to keep Muralitharan wicketless, or would they go after him? Because they know that he is the man who the Sri Lankans rely so heavily on to pick up wickets.
Good work. Very good work. Russell Arnold, the fielder. It was travelling quickly.
In the circumstances, Sri Lankans need to be desperate on the field, and fielding like this would always lift the morale and the levels of fielding of the rest of the team.
Getting to your point, Ranjit, I don't think Virendra Sehwag will have any plans. He'll just look at the ball. If it's there to be hit, he'll hit it. I think this is the time you'll see Muralitharan use a lot of this doosras, the ball that leaves the right-hander, because the off-spinning with the ball coming into the right-hander is much easier for these two right-handers to hit with the spin on the leg side.
It is known that Muralitharan does spin the ball more than most. We didn't really see Harbhajan and Karthik get too much turn. Of course, the pitch itself has worn out and dried up much more now.
Boys, come on!
The ball's also fairly new and hard. Might just start to turn as the match progresses. I think he picked this one.
Yes, if I ask Dhoni, I don't think he really knows how to play a defensive shot. He's been pushing at everything, and even the introduction of Muralitharan is not going to hold him back.
So 4 men inside the ring, one of them catching as a silly point. It's a backward point. Nobody's saving a single on the offside. So you see there's a backward point and a silly point, but if he plays in front of square on the offside, there's one, if not two, to be had. We'll pick up a single, 3 runs of the over. 11 overs gone, it's 78 for 1. Going at a very good rate, India. 7.09. Need another 221 from 234 balls. Sehwag and Dhoni need to realize that the partnership of 71 so far has come in good time. They need to consolidate. Saw a great partnership when the Sri Lankans batted. Maila Jayawardene and Sangakkara. That's the kind of batting that India will look at.
Yes, they batted so well, hitting the cover of the ball really hard and almost taking it off. But they can't really get careless at this stage. See, all what Sri Lanka needs is a wicket, and then for a few overs they can pull it back, and that's really what India wouldn't want. And Chaminda Vas, he's been the man who really could sort of exploit conditions such as this. He's bowled so well on slow tracks. His record in one-day cricket speaks for himself. Figures of 8 wickets in a game, probably the only one in one-day cricket who's done that. 2 hat-tricks.
I'm just a little concerned here, Ranjit. He hasn't taken the power play, but he's using 2 of his best bowlers. Might come a time when he's got to take the power play with the lesser bowlers. When I mean lesser, I'm not trying to put them down. Lesser in comparison to Chaminda Vas and Muralidharan.
Yes, with these 2 batsmen going the way they do, he is taking a gamble, Mavanatapattu.
There is a man in the deep. Chaminda Vas picked up the wicket of Sachin Tendulkar. Dismissed him a number of times, but it's actually a wide delivery. Sachin actually went after that. And look how wide it was from the natural angle. Billy Barron might actually call it a wide. But a great catch by Sangakkara. Athletic, acrobatic. Big bonus as a bowler. And that wicket also made him the highest wicket taker in one-day international cricket against India. 61, going past Wasim Akram. And he's the man, Chaminda Vas, who's dismissed Sachin Tendulkar the most number of times, 8 times.
That must be a record he really would be proud of, as Sachin Tendulkar is someone who's so difficult to dislodge when you look at his record.
All these stats that we're reeling out, courtesy Mohandas Menon. So this is the time in India should be quite content picking up 5 runs and over, even if they are in singles. And make sure Chaminda Vas and Murli bowl most of their overs and do not pick up any wickets.
The singles are there for the asking. Plenty of gaps with the Sri Lankans having pushed their field back. Just 5 inside the ring.
It's been a very good surface to bat on. The ball's coming on nicely to the bat. But there might be a little bit of wear and tear. The pitch might slow down as the match progresses. Still looking very good. The target quite possible. And definitely possible if you can do this. There was a man at long off, but he had no chance whatsoever. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni brings up his 50.
What a fine innings this has been. Splendid runs off the Sri Lankans. On that occasion, the Kishan Singh was just thrown at that delivery. It's just short, hitting it on the up. Bludgeoned it down the ground.
Awesome power. 6 fours, 3 sixers. Firepower Dhoni. So the keeper comes in, Sangakkara. Dot ball to end the over. 12 overs gone, 85 for 1. That's a terrific scoring chart. 78 runs, 78% of the runs on the offside. Picking up a single, Virendra Sehwag. Things looking good for India, 86 for 1. And to take it through, it'll be Ravi Shastri with him, Arun Lal.
Thanks, Shiva. What a terrific beginning for India. They're definitely in the hunt now. Didn't quite connect. He'll get one for it. There's no real reason for him to go after the bowling now, Ravi. They've got a great start. They are up to 7 runs and over. They've pushed Sri Lanka onto the back foot. They haven't taken the second power play. So I think now Dhoni, as long as he's there, they can't take the second power play. He needs to keep his wicket.
I think sensible cricket now is the order of the day, and just seeing the way Sehwag's playing Muralidharan, it's good cricket. He's just knocking it into the gaps. He knows that Muralidharan doesn't like bowling with fielders up. So as long as Murali is bowling, I can't see Atapattu taking power play, which is good news from India's point of view. You still pick up your singles, ones and twos, and you're up there with the run rate. That's excellent running, excellent running. It was Dhoni who pushed Sehwag. Ran very quickly that first run.
Well, it was just a chip. Just take a look. Now, this is what he was alive to the situation, Sehwag. He had to come to the danger, and he knew the ball was not travelling to the fielder. So these runs all count. 5 off the over already. I think now wickets are of essence. Just keep your wickets intact. 5 runs and over from here on will get you the game. Sehwag, quite unobtrusively so, has reached 34 of 31, and he hasn't been going after the bowling. He's been taking a lot of singles. Just 3 boundaries in his 34 of 31. He was wanting to have a go at it, didn't. 13 gone, 90 for 1. So in comparison, India 90 for 1, Sri Lanka was 64 for 1. And it appears that the Indians are going to carry on with their experimentation, keep surprising the Sri Lankans. So far it's working wonders. Irfan Pathan in the first game, and now Dhoni. So a lot of options opening up for the Indians and Greg Chappell. That's Mahendra Singh Dhoni's wagon wheel. He does favour the offside. Some spectacular hits over extra cover, long off. Those 6s. The good thing about Dhoni is that he hits straight, Ravi. It's not that he's going across and hammering. The straight swing of the bat. That's why his consistency.
Now you mentioned about how India should play it from here. Now here's an ideal chance of just knocking the ball around. Chandana bowling. Just 4 men in the ring. So there are plenty of open spaces for you to work the ball into the gaps. You would imagine with the attacking instincts of these 2 players that you will get the odd boundary. But you can just do it in singles till this period when they take power play again.
Indeed, force them to take the power play again, because just another 3-4 overs and they'll start panicking. They've run one very quickly. Dhoni wants one. Better sense prevails. Leg by signaled. But you're absolutely right. All they need to do is just keep pushing for singles. I think Atapattu is counting on the fact that Dhoni is not going to be able to just push for singles. He's going to go for the bowling and make a mistake.
Dead right. He's just working on his patience. Just seeing how long he'll be patient. Sehwag's doing it nicely. You can see the intention is there to take the single.
Sehwag has done he's taken 16 singles, Sehwag. It's really out of character, but he's getting that more at a runner ball, but almost. But he's content with one. Almost managed to beat that long on-fielder Dhoni. That's Sehwag's score breakdown. 16 ones. Now that's normally not the case. Just the 3 boundaries in his 36, and yet it's quicker than runner ball. So you can imagine how he's doing it. He's, contrary to popular perception, he's a thinking cricketer. Full toss, but can't quite push it for 4. But he's content with 1, Ravi. He's really playing a fabulous innings here, Virendra Sehwag.
And it's against his nature. I think Sehwag can get into a habit of batting 35, 40 overs, just being a little more selective with his shot making. He can be far more consistent. 14 overs have been bowled, and India going along nicely. 95 for 1.
That's a pretty picture. That's the Nahargarh Fort in the background, and if you're an Indian supporter, it's even prettier. 95 for 1 after 14. Dhoni on 54 of 48. He's gone for the sweep, but he'll get just 1. Too many quick-fire 20s and 30s for Virendra Sehwag. If India have to become a power in one-day cricket again, this man, Virendra Sehwag, with all his talent and acumen, he's got to go the distance. He's got to play innings of substance of 30 overs and 40 overs. You can't lose if Sehwag is there till the 40th over. And I saw him in an interview say the same thing, that he wants to now be a little more selective, a little more discreet. A job easier said than done, I felt, but today he's really done himself proud with this innings so far.
And don't forget, he's not got much of the strike, just 35 balls when he scored 38. I'll look for 2. In fact, Chandana is very quick. They'll have to settle for the single. I just feel, Arun, that Marwan Atapattu might be better off attacking a little more with Muralidharan. Muralidharan is a strike bowler. He's one bowler. When he bowls his 10 overs, you want him to pick up 2 or 3 wickets. Here he's looking to just contain, which I don't think is the right tactic for Sri Lanka at this stage. They need wickets. They need to keep picking up wickets at regular intervals to stem the run flow.
You're absolutely right, Ravi. I think at the moment he's counting on the fact that Dhoni will give it away. He's waiting for him to make that act of indiscretion. That is the reverse, and he's got it. Sehwag is gone. It's the one that straightened from the leg stump. That's the dusra. What Billy Bowden had to judge is, had it straightened enough and not gone along with the angle down the leg side, and eventually I think he's made the correct decision.
Well, he's got the wicket, but have a look at this now. Where did this ball pitch? Pitched on leg stump, straightening. That would have gone on to hit the stumps. He took his time, Billy Bowden, and thought the ball had done enough to straighten and go on to hit the stump. So once again, Sehwag, after being set, out for 39. India 99 for 2.
$99 for 2. India just lost Virendra Sehwag to that magician Muralitharan, 39 of 37. But the man of the hour has been Mahendra Singh Dhoni, 56 of 50.
Yes, he's played some cracking shots and he made his intentions clear early. Massive hit for 6 of Chaminda Vas, and then again in the very next over. Such a strong man, Dhoni. When he hits the ball, it stays hit. 6s and 4s came easily off his bat. He's already struck 3 6s. Vas got some special treatment from him.
Well, some vicious hitting there by Dhoni, and you take a look at those figures. Economy rates of Vas 7, 13.5 for Maruf. But they've got a wicket. Most importantly, they've got Sehwag. Muralitharan, the last ball of the over. Dravid to face, has got a ring around catching fielders. Take a look at that. Last ball. Dravid gets a single. With it, India 100 for 2. Well, more than a runner ball, both the 50s, 45 and 46. They've got a wicket. They've got rid of Virendra Sehwag. He was looking very dangerous indeed today. 39 of 37. He wasn't taking too many risks, but that was it needed a miraculous delivery like that one bowled to him by Muralitharan to get rid of him. Now Dravid is also in fine form, averaging close to 48,517 runs. A strike rate which is improving all the time. He's really self-assured now. But it's going to be Upul Chandana to Rahul Dravid. Still no power play. I think that's all he needs to do. Rahul, keep pushing for singles. He's walked into a situation, no power plays, there are big gaps. Suits his style of play. He can get settled while garnering the singles. So although they've lost Virendra Sehwag, there's really no need to panic. They are ahead of the run rate. And they've got Dhoni, this man there, still in. Just got to curb him slightly. Just keep him under control, Dravid.
Actually, it's a good time for Sri Lanka to go through their overs quickly. Spinners bowling in tandem. Get a few dot balls in, let the pressure build up. And really, Dhoni is the kind of player, when you bowl 2 or 3 dot balls, he's bound to do something. no matter what the situation. He's not the kind of bloke who likes to be kept quiet.
But look at the effect of a Dhoni. Still no power plays. Would you take the power play, Ravi, now that you've got a wicket, or are you waiting for Dhoni to go?
It's a tricky one. I think with the spinners bowling, Atapattu might just carry on for another 2-3 overs and then probably decide to take power play. Because he wants to get this momentum that India have got down a bit. Don't give them the boundaries and the sixes. Just let them get the singles at this stage. Just quieten things down for a bit and then take power play. I won't be surprised if he takes it in the next over or the over after, once Rahul Dravid is on strike.
Full toss, and he has hit it over the fence. Up and away. 6 more to end the over. 16 gone, 109 for 2. India almost at 7 runs and over, 6.81. Target was 5.98. Well, the second power play they've been forced to take, despite the last ball that was bludgeoned for 6. Not too many options there. He's got to get rid of these power plays. They can really, sting him later on.
I think that's the way he's looking at it. It could hurt him badly later if this partnership develops from India's point of view. Four sixes for Dhoni. And this is the last ball of the previous over. Just disappeared over square leg for 6.
And the good thing about that shot was there wasn't much of a back lift either. It was just the follow through the blade. Such a strong man. Very powerful, and look at that bat that he wields. It's huge. Mullitharan is into his 4th over. They've got to play him with a certain amount of circumspection, not give him wickets. If they can do that, then that's really half the battle won against Sri Lanka.
You can see Mullitharan pushing it through a lot quicker when he's bowling to Dhoni, and a lot of the top spinners as well. He's not bowling his off breaks to Dhoni.
He's got field restrictions now. So he's going to have to be a lot flatter in trajectory, and like Ravi just said, he's going to keep trying to bowl the away going ones. It's not the easiest to pick. Mullitharan. There you are. That's the one that goes away. Not the easiest to pick, and also the fact that because of the revs imparted on the balls dip. They fall a lot quicker than you expect them to.
It's very important you watch his hand closely when he's delivering the ball. Oh, that's gone past Dravid. Beaten Sangakkara as well by signal. Very good over from Mullitharan. 17 gone, 112 for 2.
That's the comparison for you, the graph, the Indian graph, the blue one. really taken off. They've lost 2 wickets, important ones those, in form Sehwag and Tendulkar. But they've got Dhoni to contend with. Another surprise package, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, sort of been inflicted upon the Sri Lankans. They've got to get rid of him in a hurry because he's doing enormous damage. 64, he's got of just 56.
And I'm sure Atapattu will be well aware that India has depth in batting, a lot of depth in batting today. Suresh Raina, the super sub, also being used, which means they still have Yuvraj, Venugopal Rao, Yadav, Raina, Pathan, Agarkar, all can contribute.
Now Chandana bowling 2 field restrictions. He's got a mid-wicket, orthodox mid-wicket and a square leg. So he's bowling round the wicket to Dravid. He's going to keep it coming in from outside leg. Dravid went for it. It was in the slot. Didn't quite connect.
Yes, and it's also a case where the field is up. Now, what will be interesting to see is Dhoni's tactics. His eyes would have lit up just seeing power play being taken, the field up. He loves to hit down the ground. He doesn't hesitate in using his feet. Now this is interesting. Around the wicket to Dhoni.
Well, that's done a little bit of damage to Dhoni, but he's gotten away with it. Premeditated, he was charging him. How he managed to keep that away from his stumps, God alone knows, because he could have been stumped as well.
Well, he's hurt himself somewhere. I just wonder if he's pulled aside the lower back. Seems okay. Dravid would have had a word with him.
I think they've just got to calm him a bit. He doesn't have to hit every ball for 6 because the field restrictions are on. Just wait.
That's in the air and in the gap as well. I wonder if Rahul Dravid went and told him, just play your game, don't worry.
Just keep going, youngster. Really, this was against the break. Now let's take a look at this one. Against the break, over mid-on, over mid-wicket, I beg your pardon. And then once you get it over the infield, it's 4. Dhoni's not going to stop at anything now, but he made room for himself, got his feet out of the way. Now what? Mid-off, mid-on, on the 30-yard circle, hoping for a miscue. That's a miscue, but it's gone over. We'll still get to Dhoni. So a few risks now being taken. But he hits it so hard, even miscues are going to go over the top. He's got to miss it altogether.
Yes, he is eyeing that straight field. There's no question about that. He likes to hit in that area. Two runs added to the score because no ball signal.
Actually, one thing good about Dhoni is that the momentum is constantly maintained. Even though you lost Tendulkar early, it didn't quite matter because the run rate is exceptional, 6.79. Catch it was the call, but didn't quite make it to the fielder. 9 from the over, 18 gone, 121 for 2 India. Muralitharan into his 5th over, bowling to Dhoni. That's 4. He waited for it, let it do its thing, Let it turn, took it on the top of the bounce and just smashed it past extra cover for 4.
Well, this is an amazing shot because he was looking to hit it square. The ball just didn't come on. In the end, he's just bludgeoned it between mid-off and cover. You can see the power behind that shot. Now the field is up for Murli as well, which means the option is there if there is a ball tossed up to hit down the ground. Just clearing mid-off on that occasion, getting another 2. He's living dangerously, but the scoreboard sticking.
But the good thing is he's trying to go over the straight field and over mid-off. It's the ultas of Muralitharan that are the danger. As long as he doesn't target mid-on and mid-wicket, he should be all right with that heavy bat of his. Couldn't quite get his hand down on time. They'll get a couple. Sanath Jayasuriya, the man. So as you say, Ravi, the scoreboard ticking merrily. 8 from the over already in 3 deliveries.
With every chance, something happening in the next 3 as well. He's just had one that hit the middle of the bat that went to the boundary. A couple of streaky shots. What does he do now?
That is close, but maybe got the inside edge. And that's what he should avoid doing to Muralitharan. Don't play him like an off spinner. Play him like a leg spinner.
I think Dravid also coming in telling him if you're hitting him, hit him down the ground. Look to hit across the line. Unless he really picks the off break.
That's got to be close. That would have been interesting if it hit. But Dhoni has a single.
Well, he's a good fielder, Dilshan. Just felt if he had got rid of the ball underarm, might have got that extra time. That's well played. Very good shot from Dravid. Now that's a good over for India. Nice way to end it. 13 of it. 19 gone, 134 for 2.
Well, because of that, those consistently tall bars on that chart, on the Indian chart that is, the asking rate has come down now to 5.32. And as a consequence of which, they've sent in numerous messages. There are 2-3 people on the field telling Dhoni that just take it easy, young man. You've got 80 of 65. Just keep the singles ticking. We get 4 or 5 singles and over, we win this with ease. Don't take unnecessary risks.
If India add another 50 runs in this partnership, Arun, then you would say that they're in a strong position in this game. If they don't lose a wicket. Sri Lanka need wickets, and Chandana continuing again around the wicket to Dhoni. And that's gone away fine. We'll have to wait for the umpire's signal here.
Take it easy, youngster, I presumed would be the message, but you never know. They're targeting his leg stump. They want him to play square. He's very good when he's playing straight. Bit of hesitancy, but he's made it. Dhoni's made it with ease. Doesn't even ask the third umpire.
He's a big man, but he's one of the fastest runners in the Indian team.
That's strange, Ravi. He's been given as a bye. It's not been signalled a wide. If it's a leg break and it's gone down the leg side, it must have pitched wider of the leg stump. Leg spinner bowling from round the wicket. We'll take a look at it again. He's gone and he's, well, landed in the crowd, and the crowd is about 25 yards away from the boundary line.
There's no messing around with this man. This one's come right out of the screws. Good position with the front foot. And bang. He would have enjoyed it. The moment he hit it, he knew it was 6 for the taking. Number 5 for Dhoni.
Well, he epitomizes the fact that when you want to hit it with all that you've got. It's really paying off. One. Thought about it. But they're going back for the second. The Sri Lankans now feeling the heat. And there's a lot of heat out there provided by Dhoni.
And the heat simply because they're 2-0 down. A loss here would make it very difficult for Sri Lanka to claw back into the series. They'll have to win 4 out of 4 to win the one-day series then.
He's on the back foot. Didn't hazard a single. Doesn't need to take these unnecessary risks. 10 runs of this over as well. One more delivery to go. Atapattu not very happy. He's gone over the top. That is 4 again. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is really turning on the heat. 20 gone. It's 148 for 2. Dhoni on to 92 of 70. Required run rate now coming down rapidly to just 5.03. And to tell you more about this exciting stuff is Ranil Abanaika, and with him Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan.
Thank you, Arun. It's been an exciting half hour. The man Mahendra Singh Dhoni is rocking. 92 of 70 balls, 5 sixers in that. Get 2 more. And also the 50 partnership comes up in good time in just 33 balls. Good afternoon, Ranil.
Afternoon, Shiva. Good afternoon, all. And certainly this partnership quietly getting India on top, and Dhoni in particular in fine form.
.50 partnership and the 150 coming up. So the run rate is very good. 8 wickets in hand. Dhoni sweeping, Sri Lanka weeping. Get the spelling right, mate. You never know, it's a funny game. What's important here is the presence of Rahul Dravid. That's important for me because he can calm down Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It's important for a settled batsman to play as long as he can, like Kumara Sangakkara did for Sri Lanka.
Sri Lankan spinners haven't done too well. Chandana bowled a lot of deliveries on the leg side, couple of full tosses. Muralidharan has also been wayward today, and that's helped the Indians. Perhaps a bit too anxious to try and keep Dhoni quiet, because he's hitting anything loose 5 sixes, 9 fours so far.
Dangerous, but you can't stop Dhoni from doing that. It's what makes him so very exciting to watch.
It's amazing batting. 92 in just 73 deliveries.
Oops! That must have hurt Murli. In fact, gets to the boundary. 21 overs gone, 155 for 2. $155 for 2. Dhoni on 96. Run rate require under 5 at the moment. The last ball of the previous over is a good example of how hard he hits the cricket ball.
It struck Muralidharan and nearly took his hand with the ball to the boundary. It was hit so hard. Mid-off had no chance, even though Murli had got some pace off that.
Well, the second power play that was taken, over number 17 to 21. The 5 overs yielded 46 runs for India. A run rate of 9.2 in the 5 overs. Dravid on 12. He'll be on strike to Chandana. Haven't taken the third power play yet. Just 4 men inside the ring. 3 on the offside saving single. 1 on the leg side. A short mid wicket.
Just look at that, 8.5 runs an over, but Athapattu still persisting with the leg spinner. 2 right-handers out there, and he wants one bowler to be taking the ball away from the right-hander, but Chandana is being expensive.
Can expect this with Rahul Dravid around. Pick up the singles and give Dhoni the strike. Expectant crowd here. 1 shot away from 100. Mahendra Singh Dhoni sent in at number 3. See, 3 different number 3 batsmen in this series. First game, Irfan Pathan batted at number 3. Second game it was Jaiprakash Yadav, and now it's Dhoni. Pathan was successful, and Dhoni has been successful so far.
Very important position in the batting lineup, Shiva. And of course, not an expected player going up there. But the main thing is the job has been done.
Good quicker delivery from Chandana. It's much better that he's opted to bowl over the stumps. He's going around the stumps, which I thought was a very defensive ploy. It's got a much better chance from over the stumps. Their leg before can bowl a off-stump line with a little bit of turn. The ball will leave the bat. It's been a good tight over so far. He's hit it hard. 2 men in the deep. Shaiwardene will cut it off. Just the single.
Single after 4 deliveries. Not often in this innings has Dhoni been kept quiet for 4 deliveries. He's been in spanking form. He's really hammered the ball all around the park.
Good tight over. 157 for 2. Been a very good run chase. 298. Sri Lanka made after winning the toss and deciding to bat first. 299 the target. Looked formidable, but India replying extremely well. 157 for 2. Dhoni has been the star. 97 of 78 balls. 10 fours and 5 sixes. So change in bowling. Muralidharan off the attack. Dilhara Fernando comes back for his second spell.
Wasn't too bad a first spell. Went at 5.4 and over, but that's been good considering the run rate that the Indians are maintaining. The 142 required from 28 overs. It's a very crucial stage for the Sri Lankans. If they are to win this game, they need to pick up wickets. Certainly need a wicket or two right now. They have to get rid of the dangerous Dhoni. And of course, skipper Rahul Dravid, he'll be determined to try and stay out there till the end. Plenty of thinking for Marwan Athapaththa to do. He's got to make sure that his fielders are in the right positions and that he gets the maximum support from the bowlers.
So 5 inside the ring, 28 overs you mentioned. 5 overs will be the third power play. This power play has certainly added another dimension to this game. All in favour of the batsman though.
Yes, the Indians have made the most of the first 5 overs. Sri Lankans couldn't because the going was tough when the power play was taken, when Sri Lanka was batting.
Just get the single again.
.98 runs for Dhoni, coming in just 80 deliveries. 5 sixers, 10 fours. And all those strokes were very, very powerfully hit. 122.5 his strike rate at the moment.
The skipper's on strike. Played fine. Shabindabaz there in the deep. The runs coming quite easily for the Indians. Run rate required just 5.09 at the moment, so no hurry.
They wouldn't mind the Indians getting singles. It's when they get the boundaries and the big hits made by Dhoni. 5 of them going over the ropes.
Again, the slower delivery. He's bowled it exceptionally well today, Dilhara Fernando.
Dhoni obviously wants to get to the 3-figure mark. He's done it once before. Big century against the Pakistanis. Well concealed, slower ball. Dhoni very watchful. Just 2 runs away now from a century.
Good delivery. It's been a good start in his second spell from Dilhara Fernando, taking Dhoni by surprise.
135 k's per hour. That's a good bouncer because it was well directed, straight at the helmet, and Dhoni swaying away at the last minute. Very aggressive, Dilhara Fernando. Keeps the stare.
Very good over. 159 for 2. So India 64 runs ahead at this stage after 23 overs. Chandana will continue. And Tony, Dravid, beg your pardon, finds the field in the deep, just get the single.
Very short delivery from Chandana. He bowled a good over the previous one. If he can't get wickets, then the next thing that he can do is to keep it quiet as possible. Keep as few runs as possible every over.
.99, Dhoni. This happened to the leg spinners. Sometimes if you're worried about being hit over the top, then you just have that tendency to drop it short. Sangakkara was excited, but more runs for India. 2 more, wait for the umpire's signal. Runs for Dravid.
Bit of improvisation from Dravid, noticing that there's no fielder at short fine leg. Chandana bowling with 5 on the offside and just a 4 on the leg side to the right-handers. Very good improvisation there.
Put away in style. Very, very good on loose deliveries. That's what makes him a good player, Rahul Dravid. Plays away the good deliveries, and every time he gets an opportunity, he makes full use of that.
He's got 5 fielders on the offside and bowls a loose full toss around leg stump. And Dravid not trying to hit it too hard, but just getting his foot out of the way and hitting it straight down the line for 4.
Seen him very aggressive even in the first game. Played a scintillating knock in Nagpur. Here the strike rate is pretty good for Dravid. 21 of 21 balls. Good stop by Chandana. 24 overs gone, 167 for 2. .167 for 2. Dhoni on 99. Dravid on 21. Some wonderful sights here in Jaipur. It's a lovely city situated in the state of Rajasthan. And international cricket coming to Jaipur after 6 years. The crowd here has witnessed some great batting from the Sri Lankans first and now the Indians.
He obviously wants him to go on. Hasn't worked up much of a sweat getting this 100 because he's hit so many to the ropes and over the ropes. 10 fours and 5 sixes in the 100.
It's a remarkable player. Such a treat to watch. There you go. He's ecstatic, very happy. Rahul Dravid just giving him a pat. Going Dravid, but just told him we are halfway there. Just stay a little longer. Because the longer Dhoni stays there, the bigger the problem for Marwan Atapattu. 10 fours and 5 sixes. Look at the strike rate. In fact, slowed down when he got close to his 100. Otherwise, the strike rate would have been over 120, if not 130. Getting back to the point, one more power play the Sri Lankans need to take. So the longer Dhoni stays out in the middle, bigger the problem.
Just bent his back a little bit there, tried to bowl it quicker. Went down leg side. But Fernando has been quite disciplined so far. He's got to keep going. Atapattu's got to have his bowlers pitching the ball in the right areas. Hasn't happened much today. Even Muralidharan wasn't accurate in his spell.
Oh, made some contact. Will be 4 runs. And by signaled. Good delivery from Dilhara Fernando. Cut Rahul Dravid into half, but hit nothing.
Sangakkara was possibly unsighted. You could see it took him by surprise. He suddenly moved to his left. The ball sort of going underneath Dravid's armpit. Sangakkara perhaps expected Dravid to make contact. And at the last minute, he couldn't get his left glove onto it. He's disappointed, no doubt. He's been out on the field right through this game. Opened the innings, made a century. And he's been behind the stumps. Held on to a lovely catch, a brilliant catch of Tendulkar.
Good early call from Dravid. Single was always on. So the required run rate under 5. 8 wickets in hand.
Still work to do for the Indians. 124 required. Dravid as always a picture of concentration. Dhoni's got to 3 figures. So obviously seeing it like a football now.
Tilakratne Dulshan is one of the quicker fielders for Sri Lanka. The single once again easily taken.
Good calling, good running. Fielder was a little deep. The ball stayed, bounced and stayed around the pitch for a little while, and that gave Dravid the opportunity to charge to the striker's end. So good running between the wickets.
So 10 runs coming from this over. So at the halfway mark, 25 overs gone. It's 177 for 2.
Sri Lankan bench, and at the back is Thilan Samaraweera, who was named in the side, but as the present rules go, he didn't get a bat. He wouldn't get to bowl now because the super sub is on, but he still gets a cap, Shiva.
I guess he should get something. So the super sub continuing. Chandana. It's been very expensive. 6 overs, none for 44. Before this over. Very similar to Murali Karthik. That's what happened to him. 6 overs, 42.
has got into their minds that they can just keep this going, get closer to the target, get as many singles as possible, and wait for the loose delivery.
That's fine. Played with soft hands. Lots of work for Maroof to do in the deep. The script more or less going Sri Lanka way. A couple of early wickets, then a good partnership.
Yet again, Chandana straying down leg side. He's only got 4 fielders on the leg, so he's got to bowl more towards the middle stump. Because Dravid will be watchful. He'll be waiting to push the balls into gaps. Wait for the loose delivery to hit through the leg side.
Very, very easy pickings. Sri Lanka was 77 for 2. Then you had a good partnership between Sangakkara and Jayawardene. India were 99 for 2. And this is a good partnership between Dravid and Dhoni, worth 83. Very similar, but India got a better run rate. Half tracker gets away with it. Humid conditions, could be sweaty palms.
Yes, he did rub his palms on the ground before he started the run-up.
Single to keep strike for Dhoni. 26 overs gone, 183 for 2. Well, if you thought the white worm was good, the blues, very, very good. Sri Lanka 107 for 2 at this stage. India cruising, 183 for 2. They need to keep it going though. It's a big score, 299 the target.
Maroof was given a real spanking when he bowled first up. 2 overs for 27. It did happen in the first one there also, when he went for 17 in his first over. So the Indian batsman looking to attack the young fast bowler. Not the easiest of pitches to bowl on. The ball coming nicely onto the bat. He's just above medium pace, and unless he's accurate, he's going to go for runs.
And especially against Dhoni. Ever since this power play rule has come into play, I think most captains have taken it around the 20th or just after the 20th. Can't remember a single occasion when it went on to the 24th over and the third power play hasn't been taken.
That's more like where he should pitch the ball. Should keep it in line. That way he's got a greater chance of bowling a few more dot balls. He needs to have a couple of good overs under his belt to get the confidence back.
Oh, was in the air. Had the bowler interested.
No fielder anywhere around, so that was in the air, but quite safe. 115 required now. 23.3 overs to go, so The run rate good, comfortable last.
Just a matter of keeping wickets intact and playing till the very end. India should look to play to 48 overs. Really win the game easily then. Well, getting to the power play, England versus Australia, the third power play was taken as late as 34 to 38 overs. Over number 34 to 38, bit of misfield. Single for Dravid.
Patu desperately needs to get a wicket. Sri Lankans have to push India back. The game gradually slipping away from them. This partnership now 86 runs.
Good over, just 2 from it. 27 gone, 185 for 2. .185 for 2. Run rate required now 4.96 per over. 8 wickets remaining, 23 overs remaining. It's been very exciting in the last 1 hour. And to talk you through the next half hour, it's going to be Arun Lal. With him is Ranjit Fernando.
Thanks, Shiva. Look at those figures there. India almost 80 runs ahead at this stage. That's huge. The second power play starts now, so their problems are not over, Ranjit. We've still got a power play also to get over with.
I know the Sri Lankans are in enormous problems. The captain Mavanathavatu, he's got his work cut out. They've gambled on using or getting out of the power play earlier on, and now are forced into having one at this stage of the innings with Dhoni in such great touch, supported by Rahul Dravid.
Actually, it might work in their favor, in Sri Lanka's favor, because suddenly all the singles have dried up. Now again, they've got to change their momentum. The Indians were just walking away with it. They know they need just 5 runs and over. They were getting them in singles. But now they'll have to play some extravagant shots. Like that one. Tried to play it onto the onside. Rahul Dravid is gone. Muralitharan has come back and he's made the important breakthrough.
Yes, they've got a small window here, and they'll certainly look to exploit this in a situation where things look very, very gloomy. Muralitharan, he struck. He's the man the Sri Lankans have always been relying to pick up a wicket. A nice flighted delivery. Dravid looking to push at it. The ball really not coming on. A little softish, and Dravid goes. India 3 down for 185.
Well, just as I said, Rahul Dravid played one onto the onside, trying to hit it a little harder than normal, trying to get those gaps which weren't there. Getting the outside edge on a straighter one from Muralidharan and getting cotton ball. New man in, Yuvraj Singh. Like you said, Ranjit, there is a bit of a window now for Sri Lanka to worm their way in. Average of 30.87 in his ODI career.
Yes, there are openings in adversity at times, and here you are. Dravid looking to work it on the onside. May have been a Dusra. No, it was the off-break which really didn't turn much, and a simple return catch. So it's a huge, huge break for Sri Lanka when things looked very, very gloomy and didn't have much for them. So at times it is a blessing when you might find yourself in trouble. So the Sri Lankans now forced to attack with 9 men inside the ring, and with a new batsman in, that's certainly something they would do.
Well, really it's worked for them. So there's power plays worked in Sri Lanka's favour. They've got a wicket, and that's the opening they have to exploit. They've got a slip in place now. Muralidharan into his 7th over. So they've got 4 from Muralidharan to go. He's their prime wicket taker. Yuvraj also hasn't got too many. He got 12 in the first game, wasn't required in the second. So it's been a while since he's been there at the wicket.
Yes, I think India's got their problems as well, because their lower half really hasn't had time at the middle. So this is where the Sri Lankans would need to exploit. There would be a few nervy batsmen out there. The ball spinning away. Muralidharan, he'll need to keep his length going, his line right, with the ball spinning away from Yuvraj.
This is the dismissal. Well bowled. Didn't quite assess that one correctly. It was the off spinner, wide off the off stump.
Yes, in contrast to that delivery to Dravid, bowling quicker to the left-handed Yuvraj as the ball spinning away, not allowing him to use his feet. So Muralidharan applying the pressure.
They need 5 runs and over. But more importantly, now they need the set Dhoni to bat the distance. Venugopal Rao, Suresh Raina, still a fair amount of batting to come. Irfan Pathan. These two at the crease. But for the moment, a maiden over with a wicket. 28 gone, 185 for 3. .185 for 3, 22 overs to go. About 5.18 runs required per over. 7 wickets in hand. So it looks okay for India, but they've just lost an important wicket of Dravid. They've also just played out the first maiden over against Sri Lanka in this series. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni on to 100. He's now got to play a responsible innings. Now let's see how he approaches this second power play. Maharoof has the ball. 9 inside the 30 yards. No is the call.
Yes, Arun, like Sangakkara batting through the innings for Sri Lanka, Dhoni, like you did mention, needs to go the distance. It will be really interesting to see as to whether Dhoni at this stage would change course and slow down the momentum or continue in that vein, because that's attacking is really the way he knows how to play, and if he looks to try and slow things down and go a little bit on the defensive, that might be a bit foreign to him.
I think he's going to play his game. This is the field restrictions are on, and Maharoof bowls normally the length that Dhoni likes, can get onto the front foot and really free his arms not on that occasion, getting the inside edge. But with Dravid gone, it would be interesting to see how he approaches it. But I think anything pitched up to him has got to go.
Yes, and I think if Dhoni does attack, and Sri Lanka would, although it may be a bit of a gamble, think that is probably the way that they might be able to get him out. But again, things are certainly looking tough for Sri Lanka at this stage.
Bit of field adjustment. The long off has now become long on. So the straight field long off is free. It's a free hit there for Dhoni. That's where he likes it. But he's gone the long on, and there's a fielder getting under it. The ball has sailed right over him into the crowd. Take that for confidence. There is a long on. But look at this. This is the 6th six for Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
No half measures for this man. There was a man placed down at long on, deep at that, and he just took the challenge. He was quite prepared to take that fielder on, and the ball sailed over him.
That's a big hit. Enormous amount of confidence there in that shot. He took on the fielder and the bowler. For more. Down the leg side, trying to york Dhoni, but that's the problem. There is no margin of error. Down the leg side, got a little bat onto it. There's no fine leg or third man. That was 4 the moment it touched the bat.
No margin whatsoever, as you would see. Striving for that yorker, but ball straying down leg side, going full. Dhoni getting some bat. And as soon as you get bat on that, you're in business for more runs.
There's too much pressure on Maharoof. He had gone for 29 in his 3 overs. He's come back. And he's already gone for 10. A 6 and a 4. More runs, just the one. Maharoof has that style of bowling that he pitches the deliveries up. He wants the ball to swing. Generally pitches on a length, and Dhoni, with these field restrictions in place on a placid batting wicket, can be devastating to Maharoof's confidence.
Maharoof certainly has problems because his strength is to keep the ball up, and that's really Dhoni's strength as well. And the manner in which Dhoni is going today, it's hardly ever going to make a mistake. He's cleared the rope 6 times.
Last ball. Successfully negotiated by Yuvraj. 29 gone. It's 196 for 3.
Not bad.
81 runs ahead, as we were discussing, Ranjit. They've got to get them all out now, but they can't hope to contain them from here. It's too much, the difference between the two sides. 81 runs already.
Yes, and the manner in which the Indians are going, none of the Sri Lankan bowlers, apart from Mullinaran, appear to be even remotely looking to get a wicket. So India is certainly ahead, and they certainly could accelerate in the last many overs, particularly with the power plays available.
Well, I've been given an interesting statistic. The maximum number of sixes hit in an innings by an Indian against any country is 7. Tendulkar did it once in his 100 against Australia at Kanpur in 1998. He hit 7 in an innings of 100. Ganguly did it against Sri Lanka at Taunton in the World Cup in 1999 when he got 183. And Ganguly did it again against Bangladesh at Dhaka. 7 sixes. So Dhoni needs one more to equal that record. Needs a drink as well.
We're not going to hear the end of Dhoni. He's still very young and certainly a very fine player when it comes to striking the ball.
Welcome to the Dhoni show. Dhoni. 92 with Sehwag, 86 with Dravid, and 11 of 10 with Yuvraj now. Yuvraj yet to open his account.
Yes, if Sangakkara sparkled for Sri Lanka, what a fine innings played by him as well. It's Dhoni's show now. Hardly anything to choose between the two. Sangakkara batting under different circumstances, and Dhoni under something more different.
Well, it again goes to underscore that in these conditions, you never know how much is enough when you're batting first. And you're also up against the first 10 overs, which are pretty fresh.
Yes, it is a tough call for the captain winning the toss. You really can't, in situations like this, think of putting the opposition in as well.
He's found the gap, slightly short, rocked onto his back foot. He's got 4 more, Dhoni.
Oh, this pitch certainly is unforgiving. The 200's up. And that was just a trifle short. Certainly a very good delivery to any ordinary batsman, a batsman who's not in form, not in. But Dhoni, he was so quick onto the back foot and hammered it away through the offside. Just taking it off, outside off stump.
.200 has come up. That's the 4th 50 in 55 balls. That's the slowest. He wanted one, but Yuvraj not quite able to gauge the situation. When in doubt, say no.
Yes, in this situation, the singles are not desperate. They're not important. Dhoni has been dealing in boundaries.
Well, he's in 2 minds whether to go over the top and attack Murli or just to hang in there. They put in a silly mid-off just to rile him up a bit. Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Murli into his 8th over, but the Indians certainly wouldn't mind just seeing through those overs, as the Sri Lankans really would have to look for other avenues to try and stem this run rate.
Well, they need another couple of Murlis to really push this Indian team back from this situation. They've got a slip in for Yuvraj now for Murli. The way to go, because they've got to get wickets. In fact, I'd even want to have a short leg in as well, just to put some pressure in on the new man.
There's certainly not going to be any harm done by that, because Sri Lanka desperately need wickets, and a few people in catching positions would help. That's tucked down the offside, on the onside. Just a single. End of the over. India 202 for 3.
Well, that's the Moti Dhumri Castle. A terrific site. It's on that hill. It's the private property of the Maharaja of Jaipur. It's a lovely, lovely site.
Certainly is. We've seen some lovely scenery and lovely architecture here in Jaipur, referred to as the Pink City.
That's the other side. That's the Nahargarh Fort. Lots to think about, and how can they put a stop to the rampaging Dhoni. Dilshan has now been brought in. 63rd match, 24 wickets, 4 for 29 is best. At best a part-time bowler, but he's been doing well of late for Sri Lanka.
He's picked up 24 one-day wickets and a good number of them at critical times. So the captain certainly hoping for something here. Once again tucked behind the square leg umpire.
Now this will be interesting. The orthodox off-spinner, without the Dusra, bowling with field restrictions to Mahendra Singh Dhoni on 120. The field is being set. There is a deep square leg. He's permitted 2 outside the 30-yard circle. He's got a deep square leg that you can see. There's also a deep mid-wicket, but nobody straight. That's odd. He's said no to that one. That could have been a walking single. The man was there deep on the 30-yard circle. He was on his back foot though, Dhoni.
Dhoni, I think, also favouring to keep the strike as much as possible.
He's gone for it. He's found the gap as well. There are only 2 manning the fences there. Huge gaps for Dhoni. It's not going to be easy for Dilshan.
Yes, as soon as Dhoni heaved at it, there were shouts of catch it, but not to be. The ball landing very, very safe between the 2 fielders.
Now they've got the fielder who was straightish mid-wicket to an orthodox mid-wicket. Obviously he's going to be bowling a leg stump line, flatter trajectories, preventing Dhoni from hitting the straight field. He's got away with that one, Dilshan.
Well, that was short and slammed back at Dilshan. Dilshan very quickly reacting and picking it up, almost looked to throw the non-striker stumps down.
Dhoni's obviously eyeing the straight field. By Billy Bowden wanting to have a word with Dhoni. I wonder what that is all about. Running on the field? Running on the wicket? I suspect that's what it is. Or he could be asking for a runner, yes. He's been stretching a bit for quite a while once he sort of overextended himself. He's gone the straight field. There was no need to have fielders there either. He's hit the screen. That is the 7th 6 by Dhoni.
So he equals the record of the highest number of sixes by an Indian. And Dhoni, he certainly is continuing in this vein despite that hampered leg.
There's no need to have runners, Ranjit, when you can hit like that. This is an absolutely amazing inning. This is awesome hitting. What power. Beautiful follow through the bat. Yes, he's struggling.
It's been like a fireworks display, rockets all round. It's probably a cramp.
Well, I saw him get cramps when he scored that 148 against Pakistan. That's when he announced his arrival on the world scene. Shouldn't throw it away from here. 31 gone. It's 213 for 3 and it's drinks. If Sangakkara did it for Sri Lanka, Dhoni's done it for India. And I'm just told that this is the first time in the history of one-day cricket that two wicket-keepers from either side have scored hundreds. So that's a stat for the interested few. Also a quiz question to be asked in the near future. 213 for 3 India. It's been the Dhoni show.
It certainly has been. We've seen a lot of fireworks around during this time, but this is something special. The ball's been hit all round the grounds.
Yes, indeed, he's hit 7 sixes, as you can see. Those were the first two, and this was the straight field. Maroof has borne the brunt of his destructive stroke play. He's sort of pulverized Sri Lanka into possible submission. India now need just 4.5 runs and over. Dhoni's still there. This is another huge hit for 6. Absolutely amazing hitting. That's how he reacted to his 100. He's shot them through the head.
Oh, the Sri Lankan bowlers were certainly under the gun there. Having a little bit of attention from the physios. The Sri Lankans certainly put to the sword, as you would see. But Muralidharan, he stood out. 2 for 41 in 8 under this onslaught. Was creditable.
3 dismissals so far. The first to go. Sachin Tendulkar going for literally a wide one. And that was a huge problem for India, because he was the man in form. And then in walked Dhoni. Then Sehwag was doing duty with Dhoni. Was out to that magician Muralidharan.
Yes, this was the Dusra, hitting across the line. And then the captain, Dravid, once again picked up by Muralidharan. Some consolation.
Well, Dhoni's got a lot of treatment. He's suffering from cramps. It's a tired man there. That is Raina, who's been subbed in. If required, he's going to be batting for India. Sehwag has come in to run for Dhoni. I think this was the time when he sort of split his legs much beyond those very taut and strong muscles would allow. That's when he actually started the problems for himself. Yes, that hurt. Yuvraj is not too happy with the side screen. 213 for 3. India need 86 to win from 19 overs. Just 4.5 runs and over. They can do it at a canter. Sri Lanka need the wickets.
Sri Lanka at this just stayed just 125 for 2. Chaminda Vas, even the usually economical Chaminda Vas, has gone for runs.
Well, Atapattu has got to play all his cards. He's got to now rely on his most experienced. So he's got Chaminda Vas back. They need wickets, and who better than Vas? If he can't do it, there are not many who can.
Yes, Sri Lanka certainly cannot allow this game to go the distance. There's no way it would. They need wickets, and that's really why they need to try and have men at positions which would give them those wickets, the fielders. 4 men in the ring on the offside and 3 on the onside, just looking to save the single, force Yuvraj into making a false shot.
There's too much movement next to that side screen. Vas bowling from over the wicket. Still problems. Not happy at all.
Yes, this ground bursting to the seams here. The crowd enormous. And keeping them in control is no easy task.
I think Yuvraj, all he has to do is just nudge away for singles. This is the last over of the power play. Rahul Dravid in your picture. Venugopal Rao padded up to go in next. Hasn't had a bat in the series yet, Venugopal Rao. Well, he's nudged it fine. You've got to say that he wanted to play it down to third man. Whether he wanted to play it as fine as that is debatable, but he's got 4.
It's a very good delivery here from Chaminda Vas. Yuvraj a bit late on the shot, but still getting enough bat outside edge, and the ball just having enough legs to beat the man at third man.
That was very intentional by Yuvraj. He had the width on offer. Just played it down very fine for that boundary. That's all he needs to keep doing. Just churning the strike over. Excitement again building up. Expectation all around this ground. Last over of the power play. Vas bowling to Dhoni. Now the field set for Dhoni. There's a long off and there's a deep cover. There's no fine leg, there's no third man. So obviously Vas is going to be bowling outside that off stump. Will Dhoni take him on?
This is a big challenge for Vas. He's really not done too much bowling at the early stages, and now he's been asked to try and contain and also pick up wickets.
Well bowled. Now the onus is on Dhoni whether he wants to go wide onto the onside against the angle of the delivery. It's been riveting stuff. Everybody has been treated to their money's worth. Offside field being strengthened even more. He's just chipped it over the bowler for a single. Slower one there by Vas. Almost did Dhoni in.
It is Dhoni's day. He could do no wrong. Shipped over Vas. He's been hampered by that injury. Not much movement of the feet on that occasion.
Six runs from the 32nd over. It's 219 for 3. So the power plays are done and over with. 18 overs to go. India 219 for 3. In the commentary box, Ranil Abhinayaka, and with him Ravi Shastri.
Thank you, Arun. 80 required from 108. India maintaining a tremendous run rate right from the outset. Required run rate now still under 6. Chandana continuing. To wait for the umpire's signal, so no signal. He got some bat on it. 2 runs taken.
Dhoni continuing to play those improvised shots. Nicely played away down to fine leg for 2 more. Even a push has plenty of power when Dhoni strikes the ball. Chandana unable to stop that. It was just a push. It still travelled. You could see his hands being separated the moment the ball hit his hands, indicating the power with which he hits this ball. Two, double Nelson. And Ravi, India in sight of another victory. Yuvraj Singh getting a knock today. Didn't bat in the last game.
And the Indians doing it in style now. They're not taking too many risks. Every now and then Dhoni would play the aggressive stroke. So it means the pressure is off Yuvraj. He's just got to knock it around. 134, what a blistering innings this has been. 7 sixes, 13 boundaries. Came into bat at number 3 after keeping for the full 50 overs. Get only a single. 33 overs have been bowled. 224 for 3. .224 for 3. You can see Indian having no problems whatsoever with the run rate, thanks to Dhoni's magnificent innings. It was a tremendous counter-attack once Tendulkar was dismissed. Even when Sehwag went at 99, the game was nicely balanced. This man has taken it away from Sri Lanka, for the moment at least. Here goes Was. Quietly played away for a single. And the good thing, Ranil, about his batting is he can play sensibly. It's not just batting in one gear, going after the bowling from the outset. It's he's mixed caution and aggression nicely, struck a nice balance.
Absolutely. 13 boundaries. 7 sixes, and he's pushed plenty of singles around too.
Oh, that's a good pickup shot. Drifting onto the pads, Vas and Yuvraj Singh putting it away in style. Tall left-hander, high back lift.
Yuvraj Singh joins the party. Overpitched and straying down the leg side. Nicely put away. Yuvraj Singh making the most of this opportunity to spend time in the middle. He started along quietly. It's moved on to 12 now.
The good thing about this Indian team now, with Dhoni and Pathan getting their act together as batsmen and the batting order being flexible, most of the time they can go into a game with a batsman as a super sub. 80-90% of the time and play that extra bowler when they choose their 11. That's wrapped on the pads. He gets some bat on it.
That kept a little low. Certainly a big inside edge. Chaminda was possibly unsighted as he finished his follow through. He's bowled some good deliveries, but in between he's strayed. And all the Sri Lankan bowlers, in fact, have been that. They've strayed, given away the boundary balls.
That's 4 more. Again, poor line from Vas. And he pays the price for it. Second boundary of the over. And without any risk of being taken.
And just as I said, there goes the bad delivery down leg side. Well put away by Yuvraj Singh. Away an effort from Sangakkara. The Sri Lankans right through this innings have done that. Vas knows that he has strayed. All the bowlers, barring possibly Muralidharan, they've all strayed every single over.
2-3-3 for 3. "34 overs have been bowled, 233 for 3. Down the track again, he strikes it so well. Again, magnificent timing. 50 partnership comes up in very quick time. No pressure being put on the bowler straight away. Quick on his feet, meets it on the full. And the placement spot on.
He has been cramping and he's got a runner. But certainly when he picks that ball up, when he sees it flighted, comes down the track so quickly. Turn that into a full toss. The target made quite easy now. 62, plenty of balls remaining. 94 to get the 62 runs.
That's smashed again off the back foot. Beats long off. Now that just goes to show how hard he's hitting that cricket ball. The Chief Minister of Rajasthan cannot resist. Vasan Rajesh India has watched the cricket all day today. Even though it's been very sunny in that section where she's been sitting, but that's not taken her away. She's watched the cricket right through and enjoyed every moment of it.
Thought of coming down the track again, but realized it was pushed through a little quickly and adjusted very nicely. Got onto the back foot, chopped it down for a single.
The runs coming far too easily for India at the moment. Already 10 runs in this over, 1 ball to go. There's 56 needed now. And you can see the body language of the Sri Lankans, the shoulders dropping. He'll keep the strike down with that single. 10 off the over again. 15 overs to go, 244 for 3. 2:44 for 3. 15 overs to go. .55 needed, and Muthaiya Muralidharan into his 9th over. He's got 2 for 41. He's the one bowler who's commanded respect. The crowd here have had a ball. It's cut away. Couple of runs taken again. Equals Dhoni's highest score in one-day internationals. He's on 148 now. He reached that score in Visakhapatnam against Pakistan. Now that 100 also coming in quick time. 148 of 123 against Pakistan. He's played 122 balls now in this innings.
He goes for the big one. He's mistimed this, but it's his day. 2 runs taken and 150 to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And they say fortune favours the brave. He certainly has been a brave man today from India's point of view. What an effort.
Well, it has been the day of the wicket keepers. Sangakkara first, and now Dhoni. 150, and what a fine innings it's been.
.36 overs gone now. 248 for 3. .248 for 3. 36 overs have been bowled, and Dhoni has reached 150. Only Adam Gilchrist as a wicketkeeper has 2 higher scores than that. 154 against the Sri Lankans and 172. That was Gilchrist's highest. That was against Zimbabwe. So Dhoni very much in the 150 club now.
The thing about Dhoni's innings is that 36 runs only behind the wicket. The rest of it's all been in front. So many shots hit straight down the ground.
What I like about Imran is his tremendous self-confidence, confidence in his own ability. He backs his strength. You mentioned he likes hitting in front of the wicket. He wasn't afraid to hit Was for 2 sixes over extra cover early on. And he backs himself at times, even when the field is set deep. Even if there is a long on or long off, he still doesn't hesitate in going over the top. He's cramping badly. Not easy when you have to keep for 3.5 hours in these conditions and then go out and bat the way he has.
Has bowled him right
through the defence of Yuvraj Singh. No clue whatsoever. Pitching on middle stump, just straightening and rattling the stumps.
Just played down the wrong line. Standard off break from Dilshan, and he pushed through the leg side with the ball was around middle stump, and Dilshan is struck for Sri Lanka. The fourth wicket, maybe late, but Yuvraj Singh goes 18 of 24 deliveries, and India now 250 for 4.
So the young man, Venugopal Rao, comes out to the middle. First time he's batting in the series. 49 required from 79, and the reason why he's here is because this is what happened. No footwork whatsoever. Front foot just getting stuck on the crease. Playing the bat away from the body, ball turning a bit and rattling the stumps. He'll be disappointed, Yuvraj. These are opportunities you've got to take, especially if you've got off to a start. Venugopal Rao off the mark straight away. He's been in good form in domestic cricket. 251 for 4. .251 for 4. 48 runs required at this stage. Dhoni's still going strong, 151. Those runs coming off just 126 balls. This is the last over of Muralidharan. 9 overs, 2 for 45. Sri Lanka would want is to get rid of him and then just see if they can create some panic among the Indian middle and lower order.
Been very consistent, around 40-45 balls for each 50.
Yes, attacking with men round the bat. Sangakkara, Atapattu, they know that Sri Lanka have to take wickets. That's the only way they can win this contest.
Not much protection, no helmets for any of the close fielders. Did pick the Dusra. That one turned away from the right-hander. But Venugopal Rao watched it, just angled his bat as he played. Not sure he kept it on the ground away from that close catcher.
And again, the little I saw him bat in a tournament in Sri Lanka when he played Muralidharan, he seemed to pick him up nicely and read him as the ball came out of the hand, not reading it off the surface. You got to watch that wrist of Muralidharan as the ball comes out. There you go, off spinner and swept.
Good situation for Venugopal Rao to come in. Still relatively inexperienced. His team is going well. He's got Dhoni at the other end. Now on 151. So he can take his time and push the singles, get himself a few runs, build up his confidence.
There's a slip in place for Dhoni, but there's long on, long off. Last ball of Muralidharan's spell. He's coming around the wicket. And a loud shout. And in fact, just pleading with the umpire. 252 for 4. .252 for 4, big shout. Last ball of Muralidharan's spell. Sri Lanka desperate to get rid of this man. It was a pretty good shout as well.
Muralidharan was absolutely disappointed at not getting the decision in his favour. And he's having a word with the umpire.
If only his eyes can talk. Not happy with the explanation given. Dhoni will be back on strike to Dilshan. Interesting to see if he goes for the big shot in this over.
Still doing some explaining of that delivery, the last one.
Still to come, Irfan Pathan. He batted at number 3 in the first game in Nagpur and did well. And he's a young man. He'll learn with every game that he plays, and he'll also realize that it's a great leveler, this sport. Went for plenty today, 67 in his 10 overs. But he'll also know 3 days later he can bounce back.
The field moving back now. Couple of deliveries to go in this over.
255 for 4. 44 to get, still 11 overs to go. In the commentary box now, Shivaramakrishnan is with Ranjit Fernando.
Thanks, Ravi. Looking good, India. Suresh Raina, the man in the picture, the super sub, so additional batsman. We have Irfan Pathan, Jayaprakash Yadav, lots of batsmen left for India. Run rate required, just 4 and over. Good afternoon, Ranjit.
A very good afternoon to you, Shiva. It's been scintillating batting by Dhoni. If it was Sangakkara for Sri Lanka, it has been Dhoni all the way for India. And what an innings this has been. So the Sri Lankans just striving, just looking for another opportunity if there is one.
And also doing the right thing by bringing in fielders inside the ring against Venugopal Rao. He's the new man in. He's getting to bat for the first time in this series.
So Dravid, he certainly must be pleased with his batsman. So nothing really has gone wrong. He's put his finger right on the button all the time.
Again, Venugopal Rao was late on the delivery. It's been pretty expensive, Maruf, going for 40 in his first 4 overs.
See, once again, the ball almost ricocheting back on the stumps. This game running away from the Sri Lankans, but stranger things have happened in games of cricket.
They don't want to get bogged down at this stage. All Venugopal Rao needs to do is pick up a single and give Dhoni the strike. Bit of concern there for Parvez Maruf, getting close to the danger area. Hariharan, the umpire, is cautioning him. He's taken the ball away. He's gone to his partner, Billy Burden. Is there something wrong with the ball? It's, I think, change of ball.
This ball has got scarred, as you would see. And the umpires giving the batsman the benefit of a change.
It does happen usually in the subcontinent between over number 35 and 40. With not too much of grass on the pitch, there is a good chance it could get discolored. Get one in similar condition, a lot whiter, maybe a touch harder, which is good for the batsman.
Yes, at times it does work for the bowler as well. If probably there is a little bit more movement or reverse swing on the ball that the newer one. And the Sri Lankans would hope for some sort of window, some sort of opportunity that can get a wicket. They'll need to try and narrow this, the 44 to win against the 63 balls.
So message across to Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be is to play till the very end. You need a well-settled batsman to bat right through. Venugopal Rao for the moment is struggling. You don't want another newcomer in.
And the very fact that Venugopal hasn't really had too much time at the centre in the earlier games, that's really what the Sri Lankans would be looking to bank on, force him into some pressure.
All in readiness. Maruf will continue. 3 balls remaining in this over. Over number 40. Good delivery. Good carry as well.
See, every dot ball is something that the Sri Lankans could cling on to as the last straw.
He's better off playing with the full face of the bat to mid-off. Struck it nicely but found Dilshan. He's a good fielder at the point area.
Unlike the batsmen who have spent time in the middle before in the series, Venugopal rather circumspect. Hits that firmly, but the Sri Lankans very alert.
Slower delivery. Will get off strike. Maybe something that the Sri Lankans wanted. 40 overs gone. It's 256 for 4. Chief Minister of Rajasthan watching the proceedings, and Niranjan Shah, Secretary of Saurashtra Cricket Association, also in the picture. Well, giving the single of the last ball of the previous over might have been intentional, just to keep this man on strike, Venugopal Rao. Gone over the top. The sound was good, and the result even better.
Well, the pressure was on, but Venugopal Rao, he was up to it, getting up to the pitch of that delivery, hitting it straight over the long on boundary for 6. Again, very, very firmly struck. He was not going to be kept tied down. Good use of the feet, as you would say.
That will certainly relieve some pressure for Venugopal Rao. Pulled slow through the air. That gave him enough time for the batsman Venugopal Rao to charge down the pitch.
Yes, it certainly was good response. There was a crowd was also getting a bit impatient with him. He wasn't really pushing the single, and he responded exceedingly well with 6 runs.
So Dhoni will be on strike. There's a lot of excitement when he's on strike.
There's plenty of chanting around asking him to go for the sixer.
A lot of young kids will certainly take up to the game, having watched this today. Venugopal wants to, and he'll be running to the danger end. He is. Virendra Sehwag not responding. The throw's at the wrong end. Here is a direct hit. No response from the umpire. We'll come back to that after this. 41 gone to 65 for 4. With 34 runs remaining, just under 4, 6 wickets in hand. Dhoni's been a star. 154 or 130 deliveries. Sitting very tight, a few tense faces in the crowd. That's nicely stroked. Venugopal is finding his touch. Like Ranjit mentioned, hasn't had an outing in terms of batting in the last 2 matches. But 2 good shots in 2 overs.
Well, this young man's got talent, Venugopal Rao, and that really is an indication of that. Short and gives it the treatment past that gully fielder. The point, really.
The strike rate improving for Rao. Well, it could have been a tight call in the last over, the last ball of the previous over. Always a problem when you have a runner. Dhoni placed this one too long off. Venugopal wanted to. Just keep your eyes on Virendra Sehwag, extreme right. He doesn't want it, and Venugopal Rao was almost there. And he was running to the danger end, Venugopal Rao. And there was a big appeal, but Virendra Sehwag, despite the fact he was reluctant, was home quite safely.
Yes, if Sri Lanka really cannot defend the 298, they certainly are in serious difficulty in the rest of the series, and their coach, I think his value will really be tested. They'll have to come up with some ideas. Marwan Athapattu too. 30 to win in 51 balls. And there you are, Tom Modi. I'm sure many thoughts must be going through his mind.
I saw you having a chat with Tom Moody in the morning. He was expecting the ball to turn in the afternoon. We haven't seen too much of that. It's been a very good surface right through.
Yes, Shiva, it's a tough call for captains winning tosses in situations like this under these conditions. There was an element of dampness, and the Sri Lankans took a little bit of time. There you are. There's Maruf gets a warning for running on the pitch. The umpires gave him an earlier warning, and he really hasn't been able to get off the strip, the danger area.
Something again for the coaches to work with. Chamin Dawaz was worn. Now Maruf. 1 foot either side from the middle stump. And there is 5 feet. But after that, if you get onto that area, be cautioned. Then warned. It's a man in the deep, just the single for Dhoni. Good delivery to end the over. 42 gone, 271 for 4. Dilshan to continue. Dhoni picking up another single. And he's on his way to achieving another milestone. The highest ever score by a wicketkeeper in a one-day international is by Adam Gilchrist. 172 versus Zimbabwe.
And there you are. Those are the men who keep the scores. Dhoni, some discomfort, but you could see that it's a lot of grit and determination to go on. He realizes that he needs to stay to the end. He's seen Sangakkara do that for Sri Lanka. He's not going to be outdone. He's batted so well.
So keeper's days out. Again taking the bowler on. Dilshan had to cover quite a bit of ground to his right. Must be quite exhausting for Sangakkara and Dhoni.
There you are, Dilshan, very quick to react, but not quick enough.
Just 4 inside the ring. It's been quite fantastic. He's just changed gears. Dhoni is not trying for the big shots. Just being very sensible. Wants to play till the very end. Make sure a team wins. Goes 3-0 up. He's able to control his aggression, which is a very good sign.
Yes, that seems to be the maturity that the Indian players have acquired in the recent few games. You could see the determination to bat on and on. And that's something which I think augurs very well for Indian cricket.
.274 for 4. Maruf continues. And Dhoni continues to pick up runs. There could be 2. Venugopal Rao charging for the first one. Comfortable in the end.
It's been a very dominant effort by the Indians. They've despite having to defend or to chase a big total, have done it in style.
Almost carried, or did it carry? It's a difficult one for Maruf, but was it a drop chance?
He has pushed at that one, just dropping short. Need to have those catches sticking if Sri Lanka are to pull out something from the bag here, from here.
Venugopal Rao was also concerned at the non-striker's end. He was diving back. Dhoni's had no problems whatsoever in picking up runs at will. That was another knock to remember. It's been a good year for Dhoni, 2005.
The way he's going, if there's one man who could get a double-hundred in a one-day game, it also could be Dhoni. One is usually accustomed to associating someone like Gilchrist, also coincidentally a wicketkeeper who probably could do that.
Adam Gilchrist, by far the best wicketkeeper batsman ever in the history of the game. Sangakkara is not way behind. He's done extremely well. In fact, he did so well in the Super Series in the one-day games. And Mark Boucher, I don't know for what reason, figured in the 6-day test match. Sangakkara should have been the man.
Absolutely. I think we've seen some curious or intriguing selections in that world team. Sangakkara certainly has been growing in stature. Could see that his development has been very, very consistent, and the maturity he's shown certainly puts him amongst the top wicketkeeper batsmen.
Definitely number 2 after Gilchrist. Good delivery, 44 gone, 277 for 4. The blue worm has not come down. Still going high and looking good till the very end. Not to take the credit away from the white one. Chandana into the attack. And Dhoni's cheeky this time. Should get 2 more.
You could see the Sri Lankans' heads drooping. That early interest, enthusiasm dying away. The captain really has a job to do here. They'll need to try and keep their spirits going. The odd shout from Sangakkara is all what we hear at this stage. The question is, where do the Sri Lankans go from here? How do they find resources to fill the gaps? The batting has really let them down, particularly the top order.
Yeah, in the first 2 games, the batsman let them down, and here, I thought 298 was a good score. Jayasuriya hasn't fired because he gets them very quickly. Marwan Natapatu has not got runs. It's only been Sangakkara and today Jayawardena. He's hit it in the air. And if you want to guess where it lands, outside the boundary ropes. Most sixes by an Indian batsman in a one-day international, and this man is pure magic.
Oh, stand and deliver. Save, if one could say that he just can't move his feet, that is no problem whatsoever. Stays at one place and slams it over the long off.
Who says you can't hit a 6 if you're not balanced? Dhoni. And again, this is a miscue. And that's a rare sight. Hitting it in the air, but not outside the fence.
Looks as if he wants to finish it off in a hurry. 8 sixers, that's the record for India in one-day cricket. Overhauling Sachin Tendulkar and of 7.
Get the single, Venugopal Rao. And Dhoni on 169 has a great opportunity to become the highest scorer in a one-day international, that is by a wicketkeeper. 172 by Adam Gilchrist versus Zimbabwe Hobart 2004. Still remains the highest score by a wicketkeeper. He's just 3 short. Man getting underneath it, but the ball clears the fence and he achieves a fantastic record. Mahendra Singh Dhoni becomes the highest run getter in a one-day international for a wicketkeeper, and that takes him to 175.
What sensational batting this is. Even the most ardent Sri Lankan supporter would acknowledge that there's nothing very much you could do under these circumstances. Clean hitting, and that's once again 6 maximum for Dhoni.
6 to win. Doesn't get it this delivery. Just the single to keep strike. 17 runs of the over. It's 294 for 4. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni has had a fantastic day here. The crowd in Jaipur at the Savai Mansingh Stadium couldn't have asked for a better day. 298 by Sri Lanka, superb 100 by Sangakkara, and in reply, India need another 5 from 30 balls. Vilhara Fernando. No ball. Call from the straight umpire, so overstepping.
They've had their money's worth, the crowd. What wonderful cricket. Stroke play at its best here. Fine innings by Sangakkara. Only to be overdone, overshadowed by Dhoni. Played under different circumstances, but Dhoni's sixes stole the show.
And 9 sixes and 15 boundaries for Dhoni. Another no ball.
It would seem that the Sri Lankans have given up the ghost here. 2 no balls in succession. And the crowd asking for more from Dhoni. Would he finish it off with another sixer?
He had one of them. Sehwag was home safely, making sure that he's unbeaten. 177 for Dhoni. And it's all paying off for Greg Chappell. Sent Pathan at number 3 in the first game in Nagpur. He played well. And here, needed a big score. Target 299, sent in Dhoni at the fall of Tendulkar's wicket. And what a way this man has reacted to the situation, Dhoni.
Shiva, it's interesting. You see, Irfan Pathan was a success batting at number 3, coming in to do the job at pinch hitter. I wonder what prompted the brain trust of the Indian team to use Dhoni on this occasion instead of Pathan.
Well, I just guess the previous occasion when Irfan Pathan batted at number 3, India batted first. And here, with India chasing, they probably thought Dhoni was a better option because Tendulkar had gone early. And Tendulkar was in better form than Virendra Sehwag, so they probably thought we need somebody who can get runs quickly. It's just a lot of choices, I guess.
Is whatever it is, I think everything that Dravid and Greg Chappell touches seem to be turning to gold. So why bother?
We've tried various combinations. It's all working at the moment. This kind of a situation, then you have few options when you get further down the road, closer to the World Cup, depending on the circumstances, depending on the attack.
Yes, this is why I think the Sri Lankans have got their problems. Sri Lankans have plenty of cricket to come. They've got the rest of the one-day series, 3-test series against India. Then they've got 4 one-day internationals in New Zealand. and then the one-day internationals in Australia. So they'll be under quite a bit of pressure, and from Modi and Mavanatapattu, they'll have to put their thinking caps on to find a way to turn this on or turn this around.
He certainly won't be happy with the way he got out today, Rahul Dravid, but he will be a very satisfied man. Not an easy target, but Mavanatapattu will be disappointed, in fact, to the extent that they could be demoralized. It's 297 for 4. So 2 required. 24 balls remaining.
How do you reckon Dhoni will finish this off? Do you think he's got a 6 in his mind?
Yes, he has a 6 on his mind. And that's exactly what he gets. His 10th sixer. What an innings. Magnificent innings by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. 183 not out of 145 balls, 15 fours and 10 sixers. A strike rate of 126.2. This is a magical effort. Awesome batting.
Oh, what an innings this has been. Oh, absolutely awesome.